What's up everybody, Renfill here, and we're back again with another Baldur's Gate 3 video focused on controller support for those of you who are either playing with a controller on the PC, or those of you who have just joined the ranks of the consoles with PlayStation 5 and of course the Xbox, which is coming later this year, and hopefully this video will still be relevant by that point in time. But Larian Studios has been hard at work adding additional support to the game in terms of inventory management, filters, and a bunch of other stuff to make the controller experience much smoother than it was during the initial days of launch. Now, I played three years of early access with no controller support, and it was purely mouse and keyboard, and I was so happy when the game finally launched, and I got to play it on the controller, because the controller support has been phenomenal. But there is some finessing here and there, and just as much as inventory management is kind of a pain in the butt on mouse and keyboard, there's also some finessing that needs to take place here if you really want to get the most out of it, because there is a ton of stuff to loot in this game, and you can loot almost everything. So if you're like me and you're, kind of a pack rat, you're going to end up with books and candles and crafting mats and things that are meant to be sold and wares and all this other stuff. So we're going to talk about today and the new filters that they just added in patch 2, because the last video I did in inventory management was like right after the game first launched, and they've done 2 big patches since then. We got to update it. Thus, the advanced guide to inventory management and filters here and beyond for the controller in Baldur's Gate 3. If you're new to the channel and you find this video useful, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams happen at 11 a.m. Central Time here on the channel. We do a lot more than just BG3, so check out all the playlists. There's also the podcast around Dune and Middle-earth. We do film reviews, TV shows, and all that other stuff. Plus, there's member-only videos if you want to join the channel, get access to live stream chat, and a Discord channel. Links are down below. Without further ado, though, let's jump in and talk advanced controller support and inventory management for Baldur's Gate 3. Alright everybody, don't laugh when I open up my inventory, because it is a hot mess, but I left it as a hot mess specifically because I wanted to show you guys what you could do here with the controller. That's a lie. It's just a hot mess because that's the way the inventory works in this game, especially if you're a loot whore like I am and you pick up all the things that you can pick up because you like to hoard things. And also, I'm a druid and I only have 10 strength, so yeah, I tend to have to shuffle things off to other party members or send things back to camp a lot. So I've got quite a bit of experience at handling inventory management on both mouse and keyboard and controller, but today, of course, it is all about the controller. So without further ado, to open up the inventory, hit your right trigger, and that's going to bring up this menu right here, and what you're looking for is this one right up top. Character sheet. Manage your character's abilities, features, skills, and equipment. So we're going to go ahead and click that, and you're going to see the hot mess that is my inventory. I have 10 strength, which means I cannot carry a lot of stuff, which means I am constantly dealing with this. And thank you to Larian Studios for adding more filters in patch 2, because previously this was a heck of a lot harder to manage than it is now. But let's go through things bit by bit. Obviously, when you are looting things in this game, you're going to be picking up a ton of stuff, from equipment like armor and weapons to arrows and potions and scrolls to consumable items to things that are just trash to things that are crafting components and so on and so forth. Notes, books, keys, and they do have some bags for some things. Like there's an alchemy pouch which stores your ingredients and extracts, and you can have multiple versions of these. So you'll find additional ones in the wild, like when you kill certain boss mobs, you'll find them. You open up chests and you'll find additional bags. As an example, I've got a camp supply pack. 2 camp supply packs. One is empty, one has 3 in it, and then there's a key ring. And if you go down here and look at all the different characters, they all have their own bags as well. I may have robbed Shadowheart's camp supply bag, which is why I have 3 of them. So we'll actually send that back to her right now and send it to Shadowheart. That way she's got that on her. But you'll notice that each one of these characters has their own bags and keychains and so on and so forth. But for now, we're going to talk about mine. So the first thing you want to know is, how do I send things to another character? That's super simple. Anything in here has a context menu on it. Let me grab my, I have a primer here because I don't have a PlayStation controller right now, and I got to remember the keypad layout. If you want to look at the context menu on the Xbox controller, you hit the X button. On the PlayStation, it is the square button, and that's going to bring up a context menu that looks like this. And it's the same context menu for every single item that you look at. Oops, I accidentally clicked something. Let's get that back up. It's the same exact context menu, whatever thing you click on. You're going to get move, split item, drop item, throw, add to wares, send to camp, or send to a character, or an examine the item, which we talked about the examining of items in that 5 tips video, so you can go watch that if you want to. But once you're in the context menu, you just pick whichever option you want, hit the A button on the Xbox controller or the X button on the PlayStation controller, and you will be able to select whatever you want to. So let's just say that I want to, I don't know, like let's go in here to a potion, and I want to send this item to another character in my party. I would just scroll down and say send to Shadowheart, and boom, it just sent that item to her. But what if I want to send multiple items to that character? Well, we would select multiple items by using the right trigger, and when you do the right trigger, it puts a plus sign above each item that you're wanting to move. And then what you're done is once you've had the items that you want to select, you can bring up the context menu again, choose to do whatever you want to do with them. Send them to camp, send them to another character. In this camp, I'm going to send to Lae'zel. Boom, it's going to send all of those items to Lae'zel. So that's how you quickly move items around between characters, whether it's single or multiple. The other thing you can think about here is, well, what if I want to send a bunch of stuff back to camp? It's the exact same thing. Like, let's say I want to take all these alchemical items that are in this pouch and I want to send those to camp. I would go in here and you can select all these items like so, and just pick which ones you want, right click and send to camp, and boom, it will send all of those items to camp, and they will go back to one of the chests that's in your camp. However, there's much more to it than just sending items to other characters or to your camp. A lot of items in the game can be classified as junk. They're just things that you're going to want to sell the first time you come to a vendor. Now, there are a variety of ways you can do this. First and foremost, you can click the filter, which is just pressing down, not pulling down, but pressing down. Press the left thumbstick as it shows you with the filters button up there. And they'll bring up the filters tab, and from here you can scroll down and choose to sort. So let's say I want to sort by all these, I don't know, scroll. Let's do scrolls, like so. This now has filtered all of the scrolls for me, and I can then choose to go in here and pick all of these scrolls and sell them. But what if I want to take no filters at all, and I want to just sort by the latest things or the value? Let's say I want to choose the most valuable things at the top, so filter by value, and the least valuable at the bottom, right? Something like this for the characters. So let's say I'm on my main character. There's an option here which you might not have seen before, and you might not know what it's for, but it's this option right here, which is add to wares. What does that mean? So wares are essentially junk. And when you come to any merchant in the game that you're going to trade with, you have the option to sell all wares. And what that's going to do is it's going to sell everything that has been flagged in your inventory as junk. But you do have to manually choose the things that you want to sell. So if you're coming in here and you just want to, do everything all at once, you can pick all these items that you want to mark as wares. Let's just pick these right here. You're going to click this and you're going to say add to wares. Now that has now added an additional flag to those, which has, it didn't mark the keys, strangely enough, so those must not be sellable, perhaps. But it's marked these with a silver coin icon, and that means that they are now flagged as wares. And if you go to a vendor, you can immediately sell all the wares all in one go. But you can also use the drop down and choose to sell things, that are miscellaneous items or so on and so forth. You can look at common items like so, and choose to go down here and filter these. And now we see all the common items that we can go through. And I have a ton of junk on me, so don't judge me. Don't judge me. Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to all of these amazing people who are the guild champions at the highest tiered membership here on our channel. And of course, all of the members who help keep me full time and doing this for your enjoyment. If you would also like to become a member, you get access to tons of special stuff like live stream, member only chat, private videos for our members several times a week. It's really simple. Just pick your tier, go from there. You can also do super chats or super thanks on any stream, YouTube short, or video that you see. Don't forget the Discord. Links are down below. Let's get back to the video. But here's another quick tip, which a lot of people might not know, is that, I've shown you how to individually select each things with the right trigger like so. But let's say you want to do a whole line of something at the same time because you got a whole bunch of books that you want to sell. You can hold the right trigger down like we just did and move that left thumbstick over. And now we're auto selecting all of those things while we're holding down that button. And then I can unclick, choose to then bring up the context menu and either mark these as wares or send them to camp or send them to another character. It's a great way to multiple select. Like if you have a ton of junk inventory, like all the books, well, let's filter for books and then auto select all those books and sell them as wares. It's a super cool thing. But let's talk about filters for a minute, because this is one of the really cool things that Larian added recently. Because before you only had a few options like equipment, which had all of your equipment in one tab. But now they've separated that out and said, oh, now we have arrows, right? So we also have weapons. So we have multiple things we can select now. Also throwables, which was there before, but we've separated out like weapons into its own thing now, where weapons used to be bundled under equipment. So they've added a whole bunch more, and more importantly, they have added rarity tiers. So I can select for common items, uncommon items, rare items, very rare items, or legendary items, which is absolutely amazing. And then before, we still have the same that we had before. You can go to equipment and it'll highlight all the weapons and armor and things of that nature. And then you can choose to sort by the latest ones you've looted, or the value of them, or the weight of them, or the type of items, which type is more useful for when you do none. And then it filters everything by type, which allows you to quickly have all of your like books on and scrolls on single lines and so forth, as we see here. Oops, I always click the wrong button sometimes to get out of that. So in essence, it is a hot mess, but thankfully they have a lot of tools with the filters and drop downs and the context menus, which make your life a lot easier. And it does take a little bit of getting used to, but I would argue that that's any game you've ever played, because every game out there has its own unique way of doing inventory and item management and so on and so forth. And I know people have asked for more bags. They're like, I wish I had a bag for gems like Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale and all the original games. I wish there was a bag for scrolls and a bag for potions. I do too. And here's what I would say to everybody out there. If you've been playing this game for any length of time, Larian Studios has done an admirable job of adding things to the game with hot fixes and patches. And they have talked about some of the quality of life things they're adding to the game in the future. And they're absolutely open to taking suggestions for things. So I think if enough of us go out there and push them on things like gem bags and scroll bags or scroll cases, I think. Gem bags, scroll potions. Hang on. Gem bags, scroll cases, and potion cases. Those were in the original Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Icewind Dale 1 and 2, so on and so forth. So I'm sure if we press them enough, we might get them in a future patch. You never know. But they are listening to suggestions, so make sure to head over to their forums, talk to them on Twitter. It's a great game. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Obviously, there are things that could be fixed, and they have been working at getting quality of life improvements to the game. So for now, this is my advanced guide to inventory management on the controller, and I may need to update this again in another couple months as they add more things. But as of this recording, as of this airing, that's where we're at for now. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at 11 a.m. Check out all the playlists on the channel. Join as a member to support and get access to our private videos and live stream chats. Discord links are down below, and I'll see everybody in the next video or live stream. Till then, stay safe and happy gaming.